What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, Brendan ready to deliver you our Week 4 battle here in the BTA Season 8. This week we are taking on Almighty Arceus and the Los Angeles Lycanrocs. We are 3-0 so far, with a plus, I believe, 15 differential. So we have had a stellar season so far. But this team is certainly one of the more tough ones, because Arceus is a solid player, and he has always had close and difficult matches with me. So this is definitely going to be one that it's certainly a struggle to get through, to say the very least. This is not going to be an easy matchup. His team, as you can see right below me, is Mega Slowbro, Lando T, Kyurem, Florges, Copperajah, Tangela, Gramble, Mimikyu, Umbreon, Alolan Marowak, and Vikavolt. So, one thing you can clearly see with his team is he's got a bit of a Trick Room element available to it. Excuse me, I've been having issues today. A lot of gas issues today. I don't know. Anyway, but with Mega Slowbro and Mimikyu both being able to set Trick Room, excuse me, he's got insanely powerful mons to deal with, to take advantage of it in things like Copperajah, Gramble, Alolan Marowak, Vikavolt, all mons that can do insane amounts of damage under Trick Room that I'm not certainly looking forward to dealing with. He's got Cleric potential in Florges, which is definitely annoying. Lando, which is just a good copy-paste mon you can bring almost every week, and obviously your team is certainly not the best with ground types, so it's obviously going to show up and do plenty of work, I'm sure. Kyurem is always a threat, but we definitely have ways of dealing with it. Tangela is fat and one of the more difficult mons to break in a lot of matchups, just because of the fact if we can't knock it off, it's going to be a problem. And Umbreon, of course, is, well, it's Umbreon. It's a tank from hell, and I hate it. So, definitely going to be a pain to beat this team. It's certainly not one I'm happy about having to face, but I welcome the challenge. We'll see how this one goes. It's going to be another close game, I'm sure. Me and Arceus always, again, like I said, have really solid games, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. But let's get into the team that we're bringing to take him on. First things first, we are bringing Mega Absol, Archangel here, Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Ice Beam, and Super Power. We have Max Attack. We have 152 HP and 104 in Speed with a Jolly Nature. So the 104 speed allows us to outpace Mimikyu, which is his fastest Pokemon on his whole team. So Mega Absol just straight up outspeeds everything, which is great outside of Trick Room. Not great if he is able to get the Trick Room up. That could be very problematic for us, so we'll just have to be really careful about that situation. Hopefully we're able to keep that to a minimum. That would be preferred, but you know, it's not going to be easy, to say the very least. But Max Attack, obviously, because we want to hit as hard as possible. And then I just threw the rest into HP because I wanted a little bit of natural bulk. There's some... Of course you did. Of course. Alright. Come on, let's go. Love disconnects mid-recording. Doo-doo-doo. Anyway, got a little bit of a spoiler there, but regardless, we got Archangel here still, and moveset-wise, we went with Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Ice Beam, and Super Power, and my cat, Wesker, is begging to come in the door, and he is very, very loud. What a lovely boy. Dude, your paw is all the way under the door. What are you doing? Why are you so weird? Why are you so weird? You're gonna get yourself stuck. Stupid. Bruh. Chill. Please chill. Get some help. you snag Whisker? He is trying to either break in or lose an arm. Trying. Hey, what a guy. What a kid. Anyways, knockoff is going to be super important in this game, as it always is. Getting rid of items on things is never a bad thing to do, to say the very least. It is always a welcome thing in my eyes. Getting as many items off of his team as possible will be important, especially things like the Eviolite on the Tangela. Any leftovers we can get off of some of his bulkier mons like Umbreon, and especially maybe like a Choice Scarf on a Landorus switch in or something like that, could be very, very huge in allowing us to do well in this game. So hopefully we can get that going for us. We have the Sucker Punch, obviously, just for priority, to help us, take down any potentially faster threats. This could also be a way of cleaning up a mon in Trick Room, like picking something off. So that could be an option for us. We have Ice Beam just because Landorus will die to an Ice Beam if it's not Yachi Berry. Even Jolly Nature, like an offensive Landorus, which I do very much believe he will be. Even with a Jolly Nature, Ice Beam does like a minimum 99%. So unless we get absolute min roll or have no chip damage on that thing whatsoever, Ice Beam will kill. Then we have Superpower because it gives us a really good way of hitting the Kyurem. It gives us a way of breaking the Copperajah, as well as giving us a way of really breaking through the Umbreon, which is very important. Especially if we can get rid of leftovers on that thing, we can pretty much rip Umbreon in half with a Superpower. Definitely will help us, I'm sure, at some point in the matchup. Oh, these gases issue caused me a problem, but whatever. Yeah, that's our Mega Absol. Next up, we are bringing Akimbo, the Doublade, with the Eviolite, no guard ability, of course. We have max HP, 72 attack, and 184 into speed with a Jolly Nature. Swords Dance, Shadow Claw, Close Combat, and Iron Head. So, first thing to notice, obviously we do not have Shadow Sneak on this. I figured, based upon how his team is built, right, we can take, with the Eviolite, obviously, at max HP, we can still take take hits from Landorus, take hits from Kyurem if we have to, take a hit at least. We're not OHKO'd by either one. We can smack them back decently hard, get as much damage on them as possible, and try to rack some stuff up easily. Things like Florges can't really touch us. They don't hit us very hard, so that's always a good thing. And then with our speed investment here, we outspeed pretty much everything base 60 and below if it has no investment. So things like Tangela, Granbull, Umbreon, Alolan Marowak, Vikavolt, all these super slow mons on his team, we outspeed those. So if we can get a Swords Dance up, we can really start breaking through some of these threats. Swords Dance into a close combat on Umbreon. If it's specially defensive, we OHKO it. If it's physically defensive, it's a 2-hit KO, but at +1, even at +2, Foul Play does not KO us thanks to the Eviolite. So we would be able to 2-hit KO and finish off the Umbreon, which is great. Shadow Claw will obviously rip a hole through a little Marowak. Iron Head rips a hole through just about whatever it wants to. This thing has a really good chance of being able to break through a lot of threats on his team, which is very, very important. Doublade can definitely do some work if I can get him set up. Hopefully I'll be able to have a chance to do that. So that is our Doublade. Next up we have Next up, we have Buzz the Volcanion. Rocking the Shuka Berry, Water Absorb for the ability, of course. Flamethrower, Steam Eruption, Toxic, and Defog. Went with a fully specially defensive set. And the reason for that is mainly for Kyurem. Fully Spadef with the Shuka obviously allows us to, I believe, live 2 Earth powers, like one with the Shuka and one without. I don't remember off the top of my head the calc, but I believe it lets us live 2. I could be wrong. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the battle. But especially defensive also allows us to better handle things like Tangela, better handle things like Vikavolt if we have to, better handle Mega Slowbro specifically because Mega Slowbro will not be able to break us effectively, even if it gets set up. And with the Shuka Berry, we're also able to deal with Landorus very well, so that is great. Steam Eruption doesn't really have anything that wants to switch into it on his team. Flamethrower will be good for the Tangela. Toxic is important here because, specifically for the Mega Slowbro, if I can get a Toxic on Slowbro, that'll be huge. Because, obviously, then it can't set up on his late game. And then once it Mega Evolves as well, it will not have the Regenerator anymore, so it won't be able to switch out and like heal itself up. It can break the Toxic timer, but outside of that, it won't be able to heal off the damage enough so that I wouldn't be able to 1v1 it appropriately. So that's really cool. Aside from that, we also have the Defog just in case of if he doesn't go the Trick Room route, if he goes like a Webs route with Vikavolt. He also can bring rocks on Lando, rocks on Copper. So he's got some hazards options, rocks on Marowak as well. So if I can get, I'm not boots this week, unfortunately, but I can still get in. If I can still get in on the right turns, I can defog and get rid of things appropriately. That would be fantastic. So that is our Volcanion this week. Next up, we have Shroomzy the Amoonguss. Obviously, the boy is back once again. We have Spore, Sludge Bombs, Clear Smog, and Giga Drain for the moveset. Pretty standard stuff. 248 HP, 128 defense, Bold Nature, 128 special defense, and 4 into speed. With the Yachi Berry. The Yachi Berry is to allow us to take a hit from Kyurem if we have to. That also gives us a chance to throw off a Spore, which will be great for us, definitely. Sludge Bomb, obviously, just for stab coverage. He has 3 fairy types on his team. Yeah, he has 3 fairies on his team. Florges, Grim, yeah. So having our stronger stab coverage is great. Clear Smog is important for potential setup mons, like SD Landorus, Calm Minds on things like Florges, SD Mimikyu, stuff like that. We don't want them getting set up or staying set up, so Clear Smog is there for those things. Voice crack, Jesus. And then Giga Drain, obviously, for Grass Stab. Hits Landorus a little harder. Also gives us something to hit the Mega Slowbro for super effective damage with, which is great. We teched on the 4 speed on Amoonguss because I wanted to outpace a min speed Slowbro, which, if he goes Trick Room mode, obviously not the best situation, but if he doesn't go Trick Room mode, and he doesn't do like a minus speed nature or something like that, this could benefit us greatly. Plus being able to outspeed that thing allows us to throw free spores off if nothing's already asleep, so that's also very, very good for us. Overall, the spread itself isn't anything specific. 128 defense allows us to not be 2 KO'd by Scarf Landorus' EQ. So I kind of just threw the 128 into Spadef after that, and obviously the 4 in the speed. So, yeah, nothing too crazy there, nothing too outlandish, just, nice standard split spread because it helps against a lot of members on his team. Next up, we have Madoka the Sylveon, rocking the Berry with a Pixelate ability, Hyper Voice, Mystical Fire, Shadow Ball, and Calm Mind, and fuck. I forgot to give this thing a nature. It's worse as I'm recording this after the battle. I wish I had noticed this beforehand. God damn it. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. That really sucks, and that does come into play, actually. Spoilers. Yikes. Yeah, so this was supposed to be modest, I believe. Was I timid or modest? I'm pretty sure I was supposed to be timid, actually. You know what I think happened? I think it might have... I think it messed up while I was in the middle of building the set. That's super unfortunate. God damn it. Oh well. That hurts, but whatever. So, what the Sylveon was supposed to do was, it was supposed to be able to outspeed, max speed Alolan Marowak if that was something you wanted to bring. Obviously, it would also outspeed things like Florges, Copperaja, etc., if they had no speed. Hyper Voice, Mystical Fire, Shadow Ball, and Calm Mind. Basically, this thing was supposed to get up at least one Calm Mind and probably just fist fuck its way through whatever it wanted to. Hyper Voice has minimal switch-ins on my opponent's team outside from Alolan Marowak and Copperaja, and also Vikavolt. And Mystical Fire and Shadow Ball hit those things really, really hard, especially at +1. So, yeah. That was the way the Sylveon was supposed to work. Unfortunately, we don't have the proper nature, so hopefully the nature doesn't come to bite us. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be timid. If my original mindset was that it was supposed to be timid, then it doesn't really matter in the broad scheme of things, but that's unfortunate. That's still unfortunate. I hate messing things up. Last mon we're bringing is Free Wi-Fi, the Licky. We're holding the Choppleberry with the Oblivious ability, Wish Knockoff, Toxic, and Heal Bell. 248 HP, 124 defense with an Impish Nature, and 136 into Spadef. The spread itself isn't anything specific. I pretty much just kind of threw a mixed spread in there, and checked it against a bunch of his mons, and it turned out that it worked out really nicely against a good amount of them. Avoided a lot of Okos and 2KOs with this spread, so it worked out really nicely. It's definitely not properly optimized to the best of my ability, but it's been a weird week, so I apologize. It's not. I apologize. Things weren't entirely up to snuff. It's been a really, really difficult week, to say the very least. Very busy week, so a few things got pushed to the wayside, unfortunately. But Wish knockoff, obviously, again, another way of getting rid of items on his team, especially things like EVLI Tangela. We want those gone. Wish, just to potentially heal some things up as the game goes on. Toxic, because getting some Toxics on a lot of his mons will be huge. And then we have Heal Bell, because, well, one, the Umbreon could come in and synchronize us the Toxic, so Heal Belling on that would be great. As well as being able to get rid of any Toxics the Umbreon spreads itself, and any other status that might come from his team, because he is a fairly bulky team in a lot of areas, so having Heal Bell could be very important for us in this matchup. Choppleberry, pretty much the reason for Choppleberry was, trying to remember what I did the Choppleberry for. I think it was a thing for to cover for any fighting coverage that might be teched on. I know things like Copperaja, I think, gets superpower. Landorus, I know, gets superpower. Granbull gets close combat now, I think. Mimikyu gets Drain Punch, stuff like that. There's just kind of way to make this thing a little extra bulky. Kyurem with Focus Blast as well is another option. Nothing too crazy there, though. And that's going to be our team. Hopefully it will work out for us. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace.